Then, even its most familiar and cherished ideas are able to grow slowly. They are not blown apart. These adjustments are made slowly and carefully, as if you were building something with a very conscientious approach. Then, in time, the mind begins to think for you. It has a foundation upon which to exist. Its needs are being honored and served, and it is being kept stimulated and redirected. Consider another example. Consider that your mind is like a government that is not functioning very well, as most governments in your world are not. If you want to change the government and you want it to be more productive, more kind, more efficient, and more stable, how will you approach this? Will you march in with your armies and conquer it and force every aspect of it into submission? This is how certain people approach their minds when they undertake spiritual practice. Or will you neglect it and say, well, it will forever be a great inefficient body and all you can do is try to live with its inefficiencies and do the best you can. You do that and what changes? Nothing. So, how do you regovern a government? How do you regovern the mind? These questions are similar. The mind has many aspects that interact with one another. So does a government. The mind will go into disarray unless it has a greater purpose and a greater set of priorities to serve. So will a government. The mind has tremendous power and affects the quality of your life. So does a government. The mind needs a wise ruler. So does a government. The mind has different voices and different aspects, which must be recognized and brought together into an efficient working relationship. So does a government. The similarities go on and on. Therefore, if you become wise in your relationship with your mind and in working with your mind, you become a wise leader, a wise governor, so to speak. This means that you have compassion and respect for that which you govern. You try to take into account all aspects of that which you govern and serve everything to the greatest degree possible. This means that you must balance things constantly, that you cannot be too radical regarding one or two ideas while neglecting everything else. That is why following the greater community way of knowledge creates leadership, both internally and externally. It creates balance and wisdom, a wise government internally and a wise government externally. That is why it is the path of resolution and the path of fulfillment. Many people want to govern their outer lives more effectively, but their inner lives are chaotic. That is like saying, we'll leave the government alone, but we will make the city look more beautiful. We'll plant trees. People try to make their outer life look more benign or more pleasurable or more harmonious, but unless they regovern themselves and assume responsibility for the government of their minds, nothing will change. They will have nicer scenery perhaps, but the real state of things will be the same. As I speak of these things, perhaps you will say, my God, this is too enormous for me. How can I possibly do all this? Well, the truth is that you do part of it and knowledge does part of it. Day by day, moment to moment, you learn to address the mind and work with the mind, and you give it things to focus on that are productive, just like you learn to do with your physical body. Yet part of the mind is governed by something greater. So, you have a range of responsibilities, and knowledge has a range of responsibilities. You are responsible for what you think and what you do with what you think, but knowledge is responsible for giving the mind its purpose, meaning and direction. Here you are like a wise manager, but you do not govern the state. Recognizing this enables you to have a greater resource of wisdom to carry out your range of responsibilities, which is quite enormous. The fact that people cannot manage their lives or their minds is evident, and so anyone who can do it to any degree has progressed and has a great advantage in life. You are given the means for your development. We provide the greater community way. It is effective if people learn to follow it and are patient and wise. When people begin preparation, they want big results right now. They are jumping up and down to have things resolved and accomplished in their lives, but in reality things happen in a more slow and progressive manner. This assures substantial and lasting results and true progress. If you jump ahead, you can fall back just as easily. When you jump up in the air, you come down right away. But when you follow a plan and a means that is more slow, gradual and constructive, then you truly advance, and you will not fall away or fall back so easily. to prepare you to work with the mind and to have a genuine relationship with the mind as well as with the greater power within you. The greater community way of knowledge is being provided. Without this kind of preparation, you could not do it. Try as you may to have good behavior and positive thoughts, you would not be able to escape your dilemmas because you could not establish yourself outside of your mind effectively. You could not establish a new foundation, a new vantage point, a new position. This requires assistance beyond yourself, not just friendly encouragement from those who appreciate you, but real assistance from those who possess a greater spiritual power. They provide their presence, their inspiration and the practical means for your accomplishment. You either choose to prepare or you do not. If you do not, you can only think about it and contemplate it. Here you are still staying within your own ideas. When you prepare, you encounter new ideas, which requires rethinking, readjustment and a new position with your mind. This gives your internal state direction and momentum to move forward. Without preparation, you are walking around but are going in circles. You cannot go anywhere new. Trying to teach yourself things is very slow, and the prospects for success are quite remote. You will tend to recycle old ideas. When people walk in a wide circle rapidly, it looks to them like they are going somewhere. Yet, they are just making themselves dizzy and are not covering any new territory. The mind is not rethinking. Rethinking doesn't simply mean re-evaluating a position you have had or ideas with which you are familiar. Rethinking requires new information, new experiences and new challenges. These must come from beyond you. This activates your relationship with God and with your spiritual family. This provides an upward and outward movement for you. The transition from being governed by your mind to adhering to something greater is one that must happen slowly to enable you to maintain your stability. At a certain point, formal preparation is absolutely necessary. If it is avoided or neglected, you cannot proceed. It represents a commitment to change and to rearrange your relationship with your mind and your body and with everything around you. This requires courage. This requires openness. This requires a recognition of genuine need within you. Life will teach you this need. If you are being honest with yourself, you will realize how great it is. You can only do so much for yourself. Beyond this, things have to be done for you and given to you and shown to you. That is why it is necessary to seek a preparation that you did not invent for yourself. This is what takes you into new territory, allows genuine rethinking to occur and opens you up to greater possibilities, which would not be available to you otherwise. Those who have undertaken the preparation in the greater community way of knowledge must exercise great perseverance and patience. People generally want things to move along quickly, to get to the resolution, to get to the realization, right now. Or they want to slow things down because things are moving too fast. Oh, my God! I can't handle it. Over time you will realize that you have a certain pace that you can follow, for your mind must rethink and also restabilize itself. So, there is growth and there is integration and there is restabilizing yourself. Day to day, moment to moment, this can make things look very slow, but this is how growth is accomplished and how stability is achieved. Some people want to shoot out like a rocket. However, when the rocket lands, it blows itself to bits. If you do not want to be blown to bits, then do not shoot out like a rocket. Climb like the man or woman on the mountain who must move very slowly, who must understand each move and have great respect and consideration for the mountain itself. This is a good image and one that is worthwhile. If you begin the preparation that has been provided for you and follow it faithfully and patiently, if you allow rearrangement to happen in your outer life and rethinking to occur in your inner life, if you learn to recognize your range of responsibilities, which the preparation itself will make evident to you, and if you allow the greater range of responsibilities to exist for knowledge to guide you, then you can proceed. Then you will learn not only to work with the mind, but to appreciate its great benefits as well.